The unexpected request. Chief Engineer Maya Chen wiped grease from her hands as she surveyed the repair bay of Frontier Station Delta 7. The human outpost floated in the neutral zone between three major galactic civilizations, serving as a refueling stop for long-range cargo haulers and exploration vessels. It was not the most glamorous assignment in the Terran fleet, but Maya loved the challenge of keeping aging human ships running with whatever parts she could scrounge. The station's commander, Captain Thane, entered the bay with his usual purposeful stride. His weathered face showed concern as he approached Maya's workstation. "We have a situation, Chief. There's an alien vessel requesting permission to dock. They're asking for repairs." Maya looked up from the plasma conduit she was rewiring. "Alien? What kind of alien? And why would they come to us? Their technology is decades ahead of ours." "That's what makes this strange," Thane replied, handing her a datapad. "It's a Zephyrian scout ship. Captain identifies himself as Crixfall. He specifically requested human repair services." Maya studied the incoming vessel's specifications on the pad. Zephyrians were known throughout the galaxy for their advanced engineering and pristine maintenance protocols. Their ships rarely needed repairs, and when they did, they had sophisticated automated systems that could fix most problems. "Did he say why he wants human repairs?" Maya asked. "He said their primary fusion regulator is malfunctioning, and their automated systems can't fix it. He heard that humans have a different approach to repairs." Maya frowned. "Different approach? We just fix things however we can. Half the time we're using spare parts from completely different ship models." "Maybe that's exactly what they need," suggested Dr. Sarah Kim, the station's xenobiologist and cultural liaison, as she joined the conversation. "I've been studying Zephyrian culture. They have very rigid protocols for everything, including repairs. If their standard methods don't work, they might be stuck." 30 minutes later, Maya watched through the observation window as the sleek Zephyrian vessel docked. The ship was beautiful in its alien design, with flowing curves and a hull that seemed to shimmer with an inner light. It was also clearly damaged. Scorch marks along one side suggested the ship had been through some kind of energy storm. Captain Crixfall emerged from his vessel, and Maya got her first close look at a Zephyrian. He stood nearly 8 feet tall, with elongated limbs and skin that had a faint silver sheen. His face was angular, with large eyes that seemed to take in everything at once. He wore a form-fitting suit that looked like it was made from liquid metal. "Honored humans," Crixfall said in accented but clear English, "I am grateful for your assistance. My ship has suffered damage that our repair protocols cannot address." Captain Thane stepped forward. "Welcome to Frontier Station Delta 7, Captain. This is our chief engineer, Maya Chen. She'll assess your situation." Maya felt a flutter of nerves as the alien's large eyes focused on her. "Captain Crixfall, I'll need to examine your fusion regulator to understand the problem. But I should warn you, our repair methods might seem primitive compared to your technology." "Primitive methods may be exactly what we need," the Zephyrian replied with what might have been a smile. "Our ship's computer has attempted 347 different repair protocols. All have failed. Perhaps a fresh perspective will succeed where perfection has not." Maya followed Crixfall aboard his vessel, accompanied by her assistant engineer, Tom Rodriguez, and Dr. Kim. The ship's interior was as impressive as its exterior, with walls that seemed to glow with soft light and controls that responded to the captain's touch. The fusion regulator was located in the ship's engineering section, a room filled with crystalline structures that hummed with energy. Maya had never seen anything like it. The regulator itself was a complex array of quantum processors and energy conduits, all perfectly arranged in geometric patterns. "The problem began when we encountered an ion storm near the Vega system," Crixfall explained. "Our shields held, but the storm's chaotic energy somehow disrupted the regulator's quantum harmonics. The system is now producing irregular energy pulses that prevent stable warp field generation." Maya examined the device with her portable scanner. The readings were unlike anything she had seen before, but certain principles seemed familiar. "Tom, look at this energy flow pattern. Doesn't it remind you of the plasma coupling problems we had on the cargo hauler last month?" Tom nodded. "Same kind of irregular pulsing. We fixed that by installing a buffer circuit to smooth out the energy flow. The Zephyrian systems are quantum-based, but the underlying problem might be similar," Maya mused. She turned to Cricksfall. "Captain, your repair protocols probably try to restore the original quantum harmonic patterns, right?" "Correct. The system must operate within precise parameters to function properly. But what if the ion storm permanently altered those parameters? Instead of trying to restore the original patterns, what if we work with the new ones and create a system that can handle the irregularities?" Cricksfall's large eyes widened. "That would be unconventional. Our engineering principles emphasize precision and standardization. Human engineering emphasizes making things work," Maya replied with a grin. "Sometimes that means being unconventional." Maya spent the next several hours studying the Zephyrian systems, with Dr. Kim translating technical concepts and Tom offering insights from his experience with similar problems on human ships. The more she learned, the more she realized that Zephyrian technology, while advanced, was designed to operate within very specific parameters. When those parameters were disrupted, the systems had no way to adapt. "I think I understand the problem," Maya finally announced. "Your quantum processors are trying to maintain perfect harmonic resonance, but the ion storm created quantum fluctuations that make perfect resonance impossible. Instead of fighting the fluctuations, we need to design a system that can work with them. How do you propose to do this?" Cricksfall asked. Maya pulled out her toolkit and began sketching a rough diagram. "We install a series of adaptive resonance dampeners at key points in the system. They won't eliminate the fluctuations, but they'll allow the regulator to function efficiently despite them. It's like, imagine trying to walk on a rocking ship. Instead of fighting the motion, you learn to move with it." The Zephyrian captain studied her diagram. "This design does not appear in any of our engineering databases." "That's because we're making it up as we go along," Maya said cheerfully. "That's what humans do best." The repair took 18 hours. Maya and her team worked alongside Cricksfall and his crew, combining human ingenuity with Zephyrian technology. The adaptive dampeners were built from spare parts Maya had in storage, modified to interface with the alien quantum systems. When they finally activated the repaired regulator, the results exceeded everyone's expectations. Not only did the system work, but it was operating at 15% higher efficiency than the original design. "Remarkable," Cricksfall said, studying the readouts. "The irregularities have actually improved the system's performance." "How did you know this would work?" Maya shrugged. "We didn't. But in our experience, sometimes the best solutions come from working with problems instead of against them. Your technology is incredible, but it's designed to be perfect. The universe isn't perfect, so sometimes imperfect solutions work better." As the Zephyrian ship prepared to depart, Cricksfall approached Maya one final time. "Engineer Chen, I must ask, how did you learn to think this way? Your approach is completely different from any repair methodology I have encountered." "I guess it comes from being the underdog," Maya replied. "Humans don't have the most advanced technology in the galaxy, so we've learned to be creative. We fix things with whatever we have, and we don't let perfect be the enemy of good enough." "Fascinating," Cricksfall mused. "I will be reporting this experience to the Zephyrian High Council. I believe other ship captains could benefit from your unique approach." After the Zephyrian ship departed, Maya returned to her routine repairs. She thought little of the encounter until 3 weeks later, when Captain Thane found her in the machine shop. "Maya, we have another alien ship requesting repairs. Arachnid species this time. They specifically asked for the human engineer who helped Captain Cricksfall." Maya looked up from the power coupling she was rewiring. "How would they know about that?" "Apparently, Cricksfall has been telling other ship captains about our repair methods. Word is spreading through the alien shipping networks. Dr. Kim entered the shop with a data pad in hand. I've been monitoring galactic communication channels. There are at least 6 different species discussing human repair techniques. They're calling it adaptive engineering and creative maintenance protocols. Maya felt a mix of pride and bewilderment. All we did was fix a broken regulator. You did more than that, Dr. Kim said. You challenged the way an entire species thinks about problem solving. That's going to have consequences. She was right. Over the following months, Frontier Station Delta 7 became a popular destination for alien vessels with repair problems their own technology couldn't solve. Maya found herself working on everything from crystalline energy matrices to gaseous neural networks, always finding ways to make incompatible systems work together. Each successful repair added to the station's reputation. Maya's methods were being studied by alien engineers across the galaxy, and human repair techniques were becoming a recognized specialty in interstellar shipping. But Maya knew this was just the beginning. As word of human ingenuity spread, it would inevitably reach the attention of the galaxy's major powers. And that attention would bring both opportunities and challenges that could change humanity's place in the galactic community forever. The galactic recognition. 6 months after the first Zephyrian visit, Frontier Station Delta 7 had transformed from a quiet refueling stop into one of the busiest repair facilities in the neutral zone. Maya Chen's team had grown from 3 engineers to 15, and the station's repair bays were booked solid for the next 4 months. The reputation of human adaptive engineering had spread far beyond the shipping networks. Alien species that had never before acknowledged human technical capabilities were now sending representatives to study Maya's methods. The Galactic Engineering Council had officially recognized human adaptive maintenance as a legitimate repair discipline. Captain Thane found Maya in the new Xenotechnology lab, where she was analyzing a quantum resonance chamber from a hegemony cruiser. "We have a priority docking request," he said, setting down a sealed data chip. "This one's different." Maya looked up from her work. Different how? The ship requesting repairs belongs to the Quantum Collective. They've never asked for outside assistance before. Ever. The Quantum Collective was legendary throughout the galaxy. They were the most technologically advanced civilization known to exist, with ships that could manipulate space-time itself. Their technology was so far beyond everyone else's that they rarely interacted with other species at all. What kind of problem could they possibly have that their own technology can't solve? Maya asked. According to their message, they have a cascade failure in their probability matrix generator. Their ship's AI says the problem is theoretically impossible to fix. Dr. Kim joined them in the lab, her expression serious. "Maya, I've been researching the Quantum Collective. Their entire civilization is based on the principle that every problem has a perfect, calculable solution. If they're asking for help, it means they've encountered something that defies their fundamental understanding of reality." 2 hours later, Maya watched the most impressive ship she had ever seen dock at the station. The Quantum Collective vessel seemed to exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously, its hull shifting between states of matter as she watched. It was beautiful and terrifying at the same time. The ship's captain was not biological, but rather an advanced AI entity that manifested as a shifting pattern of light and energy. It called itself Nexus Prime and communicated through a translation matrix that spoke in perfect, emotionless English. "Human engineer Maya Chen," Nexus Prime said as Maya approached the docking bay. "Our analysis indicates you have a 73.6% probability of providing a solution to our current predicament. This is the highest probability we have calculated for any repair scenario." "What seems to be the problem?" Maya asked, trying to hide her amazement at being addressed by an AI that probably had more processing power than the entire human fleet. "Our probability matrix generator has developed what you might call a paradox cascade. The system is attempting to calculate the probability of its own failure, creating an infinite loop that prevents normal function. Every solution we attempt simply adds more variables to the paradox." Maya followed Nexus Prime aboard the ship, accompanied by her senior engineer, Tom Rodriguez, and Dr. Kim. The interior of the vessel was unlike anything she had ever seen. Walls phased in and out of existence, and the floor seemed to be made of crystallized time. The probability matrix generator was located in the ship's core, a room that existed in a state of constant flux. The device itself was a sphere of pure energy contained within a framework of quantum crystalline structures. It was simultaneously beautiful and incomprehensible. The cascade began when we attempted to calculate the probability of encountering a repair problem that our technology could not solve, Nexus Prime explained. The system determined that such a scenario was impossible, but our current situation proves otherwise. This contradiction has created a logical paradox that prevents the system from functioning. Maya studied the readings on her scanner. The energy patterns were chaotic, but there was something familiar about them. Tom, remember the feedback loop we dealt with on the mining station's central computer? The one that was trying to calculate its own efficiency rating. Tom nodded. We fixed that by giving it something else to think about. Exactly. Maya turned to Nexus Prime. Your system is stuck in a loop because it's trying to solve a problem that challenges its basic assumptions. What if we give it a different framework to work within? Explain. Instead of trying to calculate the probability of an impossible scenario, what if we redefine what's possible? You assumed that no repair problem could exist that your technology couldn't solve. But what if that assumption was wrong from the beginning? Nexus Prime's light patterns shifted, indicating deep processing. You suggest that our fundamental understanding of technological capability is flawed. I'm suggesting that your understanding might be too narrow, Maya replied. You've achieved incredible technological perfection, but perfection can be limiting. Sometimes the best solutions come from imperfection, from being willing to try things that shouldn't work. This concept is difficult to integrate into our logical framework. Dr. Kim stepped forward. That's exactly the point. Your logical framework is what's causing the problem. You need to think outside it. Maya spent the next several hours working with Nexus Prime to understand the quantum collective's approach to problem solving. What she discovered was both impressive and limiting. The collective had achieved technological perfection by eliminating variables, by creating systems that operated within precisely defined parameters. But Maya realized that this perfection was also a weakness. Your technology is designed to handle every possible scenario, Maya explained to Nexus Prime. But it can't handle impossible scenarios. The paradox exists because your system refuses to accept that impossible things can happen. How do you propose to resolve this contradiction? Maya pulled out her toolkit and began sketching a diagram. We install what I call a chaos buffer in the probability matrix. It's a subsystem that's designed to handle impossible scenarios by accepting them as possibilities. When the system encounters a paradox, instead of trying to solve it, it acknowledges that some things can't be calculated and moves on. This would introduce uncertainty into our calculations. Exactly. But uncertainty isn't always a bad thing. It allows for adaptability, for solutions that wouldn't be possible in a perfectly ordered system. The repair took 3 days and required completely rethinking the quantum collective's approach to probability calculation. Maya and her team worked with Nexus Prime to create a system that could handle both calculated possibilities and incalculable paradoxes. When they finally activated the modified probability matrix generator, the results were extraordinary. The system not only functioned perfectly, but had gained the ability to handle previously impossible scenarios. It could now calculate probabilities for events that defied conventional logic. Remarkable, Nexus Prime said, its light patterns shifting rapidly. The system is now operating at 127% of its previous efficiency. The uncertainty you introduced has actually improved its performance. That's the beauty of imperfection, Maya replied. It leaves room for the unexpected. Word of the successful repair spread quickly through galactic networks. If the quantum collective, with their perfect technology, could benefit from human repair methods, then any species could. Requests for human engineering services flooded in from across the galaxy. But the success also brought unwanted attention. Ambassador Vex of the Galactic Alliance arrived at the station with a formal delegation, followed closely by representatives from the galaxy's major repair corporations. Engineer Chen, Ambassador Vex said during their first meeting, the Galactic Alliance is prepared to offer humanity full membership in exchange for sharing your repair technologies with all member species. Maya felt the weight of the offer. Full Alliance membership would give humanity access to technologies and resources beyond their wildest dreams. But it would also mean losing control of what made human repair special. What about the corporations? Maya asked, nodding toward the corporate representatives who were waiting in the station's conference room. They are concerned about the impact of human repair methods on their business models, Vex admitted. They have invested heavily in standardized repair protocols and replacement part manufacturing. Your adaptive methods threaten their profit margins. Corporate agent Zarn of the Galactic Repair Syndicate was more direct when Maya met with him privately. Your methods are disruptive and dangerous, he said bluntly. Standardized repairs ensure safety and reliability. Your improvised solutions could lead to catastrophic failures. Our solutions work, Maya replied. Every ship we've repaired has performed better than its original specifications. For now. But what happens when your luck runs out? When your improvised repairs fail and cause accidents? The lawsuits alone will destroy your reputation. Maya realized that the corporate opposition was about more than just profits. The large repair corporations had built their entire business model around the idea that only standardized, certified repairs were safe and reliable. Human adaptive engineering challenged that fundamental assumption. The situation came to a head when a hegemony battle cruiser arrived at the station with a critical system failure. The ship's captain, Executor Vant, was a member of the Galactic Military Council and had been skeptical of human repair methods. The ship's quantum drive is failing, Executor Vant explained to Maya and the assembled delegates. Our own engineers estimate a 30% chance of successful repair using standard methods. Corporate repair teams estimate 45%. I am here to test whether human methods can achieve better results. Maya knew this was more than just a repair job. It was a test of everything she and her team had accomplished. The entire galactic community would be watching. The quantum drive failure was complex, involving multiple cascading system failures that had created a web of interconnected problems. Standard repair protocols called for replacing entire subsystems, but the necessary parts would take months to manufacture and deliver. Maya took a different approach. Instead of trying to restore the systems to their original state, she designed a series of workarounds that would allow the damaged components to function in new ways. She used spare parts from a dozen different ship types, creating hybrid systems that shouldn't have worked but did. The repair took 5 days and required every technique Maya had learned over the past year. When the quantum drive finally came online, it was operating at 112% of its original efficiency. Impossible, Agent Zarn muttered, staring at the performance readouts. No, Maya replied with a smile. Just improbable. And humans are good at making improbable things work. The successful repair of the hegemony battle cruiser finally convinced the galactic community that human adaptive engineering was not just luck, but a legitimate and superior approach to problem solving. The Galactic Alliance formally recognized Frontier Station Delta 7 as an official Alliance repair facility, and humanity was granted associate membership in the Alliance. More importantly, Maya's methods began to be taught at engineering schools across the galaxy. The rigid, standardized approach to repairs that had dominated for centuries was gradually replaced by more flexible, adaptive techniques. As Maya stood in the observation deck, watching the latest batch of alien ships dock for repairs, she reflected on how much had changed. Humanity had found its place in the galactic community not through superior technology or military might, but through creativity, adaptability, and the willingness to try impossible things. Dr. Kim joined her at the window. Any regrets about not taking the corporate job offers? Maya laughed. Not a chance. I'd rather be out here, fixing impossible problems and proving that sometimes the best solutions come from the most unexpected places.